What up, small hands? What up, Farid? Alright, chat, so we're going to be going over the new character and the new patch notes, making sure everybody's updated. This is the video, the intro. What's up, Dave RNG? How you doing, my man?
Suck baby, back for the content.
So how do you even pronounce this? My boy Blame RNG with the first sub of the stream. Thank you, fam.
Hello again, Smite fans, and welcome back. If you weren't totally scared away by what just happened a second ago, I am now here with Fawn and AJ.
You can
So,
skip
welcome
through.
aboard, y'all.
The most epic version of all of those banshees instead.
I can definitely see it. Definitely.
She looks
She's
sick.
definitely creepy.
I love her
yeah.
weapon.
And, I mean, it's only exonified by seeing her in action. So are we ready to steer in game?
I think we're good. Clean attacked my webcam, so I think we've resolved that now. So I think we can go straight into game and show off the kit.
Awesome. Let's
She is
see what's
a
going on.
physical melee assassin, which I
Correct.
Showing off
So we're gonna
new
show
map.
what happens when you might fight Cliodhna first.
This map looks awesome.
She is a terror in the jungle. Let's show off the rest of the abilities.
that was
Oh,
scary
that's-
already.
That was spooky.
Okay, channeling ability. A dash, Mulan ult. Is that her ult?
And of course,
Gotta do it. Show up. Show everybody.
There it is.
Yes. Look
In
at
the
Look
wall.
at how amazing this is.
That looks
so
pretty
awesome
awesome.
stuff there.
Also
She is
marvel this
truly
game.
horrifying.
Oh yeah, and so many things.
How
to
long
go
can you
over
stay
there.
in
I mean,
the walls?
let's get into it. Let's start with that passive. Lay it down for us.
Yeah, I feel like there's gonna be a lot of
Yep,
bugs with this
so
character.
the passive is phantasmal. So the idea here is that she can essentially take on a ghostly form and walk into walls. And so you can see
Her
here,
passive.
as I walk into that wall, I have a brief entering time before
You
I go
take
in there.
damage.
But now that I'm in here,
You take damage.
I can
and
actually
increases
walk
damage.
completely into this wall, walk through it, walk anywhere I want to, and then I can exit at any time. And you can
Infinite,
see that I'm taking more and more
but you drain infinite, but you drain HP. That's really low HP tick. You could just sit there forever.
and more damage as I stay inside here.
Untargetable for that long.
This passive has a lot of rules about what you can or can't do with it. So the first one is it has a cooldown. You can only do this once every 16 seconds. And it happens when
Okay,
you leave.
that's good.
The second is that if you're crippled or below 25% health, you can't enter the wall. So if you're able to cripple,
If you're crippled or below 25% health, that's a big one. Below the cripple is obviously makes sense, but 25%, I mean that's probably when you'd want to use it. You know what I mean? Even if it's for a little bit, that's kind of interesting. Not sure if I like that.
or get her low enough health she can't just immediately sneak away into a wall. And the third is that when you have this on cooldown, you actually have an indicator in game like, hey, you can't do this. You can't go into this wall.
Yeah, I saw that damage.
So there's a whole bunch going on here to make sure that, one, it's conveyed really clearly as to your ability to enter a wall, but also making sure that there's counterplay options. When you're inside a wall, you can see here that I have this debuff icon. You might be able to hear creepy music. You might have heard that earlier. That's an indicator that she is actually in the wall next to you, and if I walk out of it and walk in it, you'll be able to hear an audio cue that you've actually entered within an area around her, so you have some indication that you might get jumped on within a few seconds.
Wow.
So
The ability is an absolute technical marvel. The amount of
Yes.
programming and engineering that went into this ability, this single ability, might be one of the top in all of Smite history to rival Olarun Alt and the Morrigan. Honestly, all the interesting choices we had to make involving what we wanted to show, what we wanted to render while players were in the wall, how we got the most important information, how we showed those borders, the
Why can't I-
dark realm she's in, models, or change the visual playable of our team. This is what we've been wanting to do for years, and we finally.
Dream Team has an algorithm that runs the map from this wall. Generate these. I don't think we can really understate how much tech went into this.
And I mean, it just, from a perspective, it is insane just everything about it looks so good from every angle. It's a great addition. So
And you can also see
talk about
the wall. That makes sure that there's no room. You can actually is there completely disappear. She's in time for escape health. Only 5% damage that she.
Wow, they really take a long time.
Cliodhna to a
This does fundamentally break a lot of the rules that
give high five. So
let's do the first ability. We have the Banshee's Wail. This is a 3-part channel. Oop. Something weird. There we go.
Sometimes a pretty cool ability.
Dev,
pretty basic. I don't mind it.
So we got the Scream. It's 3 parts. The final hit hits the hardest. And you can see that final Scream actually causes the target to be silenced, but that's not all. They're also deafened when that hits. If Lurmy is here, if she wants to cast the ultimate and then hit me with the deafen ability, you'll be able to hear the audio disappear. So you can hear that kind of dip out and then dip back in of the audio. This is essentially removing your ability to hear for just a brief window of time, and then so
that's
like
pretty cool.
could potentially snipe you or Thor could dunk on you.
That's pretty
just
cool.
a
I like
nice
that.
nod to the fact that this is a loud Banshee just wailing into your ear.
That's a cool
that
ability.
is so wild.
And that's not all. It has a passive interaction. When you're inside the wall, you can cast it along the wall, and you might wonder, what is that thing that's screaming instead of Cliodhna? Well, if Lurmy can cast the 1, you have Spooky Wall Face that was at the end of the trailer.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I know there was some expectations potentially for a stance changer for this character, which we're not super keen on doing, but you can kind of look at this kit as if it was a stance change because you have the in-the-wall kit and the out-of-the-wall kit. You have a lot.
And it is just insanely spooky. It's jump scares, man. I'm gonna be walking through the jungle, going to get my speed camp, and a face is gonna pop out, and I'm gonna alt F4 by accident, out of fear.
Yep.
So we can go on to the next ability. We have Flickering Visions. So Flickering Visions is actually a line skill shot with an exploding AoE. Pretty standard stuff. But you can see that that target is marked. And what that target mark means is that they can no longer see me. So if I were to hit the center Odin would lose sight of me, but the other Odins can totally see me still. It's a targeted stealth. So only the person that I hit is actually views me as stealth. And if when he wants to cast it, we can see what that looks like.
Yeah, I want to
so
see.
she completely disappears from my vision.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
If she then uses the 2 and then attacks,
that's very awesome.
you can see that she kind of flickers into existence for that attack. I can also try and hit her to also reveal her. So it follows a lot of similar rules with like revealing based off being hit. But this is essentially a way that she can hit you with the 2, and then if she wants to try and run away, she potentially can.
That's pretty
if she
sick.
wants to try and get into a wall, she can. If she wants to get around you and surprise you from the other side, you can also kind of play off your team's ability of fighting Cliodhna from other stuff that we have in the game.
And the fact that you have to hit someone before you can become stealth helps remove a lot of the other frustration elements regarding stealth, where you can use it when you're very far away,
Come with the big 3 months,
to
thank you.
engage or to
Really appreciate
escape.
it.
Really, this is like a really unique take on combat stealth, which lets her get a little bit of positioning or a very specific one-on-one advantage
Yeah, I like
in
it
a
a lot.
skirmish, which I just think is super smart design and a very
It is
cool
a smart
evolution
design
for the game.
Because if you're in a jungle fight, you hit somebody with that and then dive into a wall to attack, even if the blind wears off and they can hear you, there are walls all over the jungle. Who knows where you're going to come from? So
Multiple gods with the explosion, they all can't see you, so it's not just one person. So if you're able to catch them all together, you could potentially deny the entire team vision of you if you are able to get that skill shot off.
so much to play. That's super awesome.
No,
so how
it's
about
not single targeted.
ability number 3?
It has an AoE at the end.
Ability number 3.
So ability number 3 is Lurching Claw. This is the
Her dash,
movement
I
ability
think,
of the
yeah.
kit, as well as a kind of different way of doing a cone attack.
Look like
So we
Mulan.
have a charge into a cone fire. So you can see it's pretty straightforward there. The dash does damage, the claw does damage, but you can stop
a
it
lot
at
of
any
damage.
point. So you can charge forward there, you can charge, cancel a bit early, you
like
can
that
aim
dash.
freely while you're charging, turn around and cancel wherever you want. So this is basically, you can choose to move as far as you want, and then once you cancel, you're going to do that claw attack no matter what. This does have another interaction with the wall, which is
She's also
you
level
can cast
20
it while you're
though.
inside the wall. So you saw when we showed off the ability at the start,
Right, you can
actually
come
just
out the wall
jump out of the
dashing.
wall, and you can see you actually cover quite
That's
a bit
pretty
of distance,
amazing.
as well as this charge is a little bit longer as well. So the normal dash length, I think,
Can
is
you
about
dash into
45,
another
and the
wall?
dash is 50, if I recall correctly. So you get a
We
little
should also
extra
note
distance
that ability
on top of that.
2 just cannot be used in a wall.
Correct.
Yeah,
which we
so
didn't
the
cover.
1
People
and
might have been
3
saying, "What about the ability to wall?" And the answer is,
Yeah,
no.
you're right.
Yep, and you can see similar. You also can't fire relics as when you're inside it as well. Similar things there. That
You can't
doing the
return to
relics are
base.
locked out. Nope. If you're trying back, you can start it, but you're gonna take damage and not be able. This is your way to like you can jump into this wall. Maybe you know there's no ward here. Jump
feel
up
like this
here
is my
and then
type of
come out this
character.
wall, gank the enemy mid laner. Pretty spooky stuff if you try to face it.
Oh yeah. Love it too, and I love that you can, like you showed off, dash through and get behind. It's great for position. So let's talk about her ult. Let's talk about the final, tearing the veil.
Yep. So the final portion of the kit is the ult, tearing the veil. This is where she uses her claw to tear a rift between the veil of life and death and call forth her banshees. So she casts this, a rift opens, and you can see there it kind of bursts open in a big attack, and then a whole bunch of banshees come flying out.
It's a pretty thin line.
This ability has that burst is higher damage, followed by tick damage that decreases. So you really want to try and land an initial hit. Does quite a bit of damage. But enemies do have a lot of warning that is coming, so they can try and avoid it. You can see there, she tried to hit me with it from inside the wall, but I saw it in time, was able to back up. You gotta be careful when you're fighting against the Cliodhna. But I also have 2 charges of this, so this is actually a charge-based ultimate. And
I think she might need to get buffed.
One, to give you a bit of flexibility when using this, so you can choose to cut off opponents, you can choose to try and directly damage them. But when you're inside the wall, it actually acts completely differently. So here you can see I cast it, and it just kind of sits there on the wall.
I might need to see how
It's
she scales.
actually not going to do anything. And it's not going to do anything until an enemy actually walks over here. And if Lermy is available, there we go. You can see it actually activates there when she actually walked near it.
That's
So
interesting.
she's able to place wall-based
So I can
traps
zone.
that go off. So if you want to use this to try and potentially, one place that was pretty common for us to use was at this Gold Fury pit. If you place one here, and you can kind of cut off this path, enemies who walk in here might choose to walk forward, their teammates might choose to walk backwards, and now they're split up. So a lot of interesting things you can do with that. We want to give you the flexibility to play around with it, so it has 2 charges,
I'm
and its
assuming enemies
damage
can see it.
and number tuning is kind of tuned to that, so you have that flexibility.
This ability has a lot of unique applications. It's really good for cutting off paths, as it's a pretty potent slow, even if you don't get hit by the initial hit.
Oh, what's a slow? Yeah, I was
but
about to
It's
say.
a new god, so it's got to have slow. Thanks, Bon
Right.
for that one. And
Yeah.
Welcome.
it's also, when you're placing your traps, it can be really smart to place them so that they
6%
open
per
and,
tick?
like,
Pretty
fire
low.
further down a jungle path instead of just like into a short path. Like, you might think you want to just place them in that short bottleneck there, but it's much better to place one, right there, because you effectively cut off the difference between those 2 placements. Cuts off a large amount of choices, where you can run right past it briefly, but if you run past the other one, you cannot really retreat into your own jungle without getting hit by it. So really some smart positioning here. Could do a lot to route enemies around. It's a little harder to...
I feel like she has really bad chase. Like, how does she kill someone? She has a lot of utility, but none of it really makes sense. Like, I don't think she one-shots anyone coming out of the wall, right? Because you're going to come out, you're going to dash, and then they dash. And then what happens? What's your chase? Like, you can just walk away from her. I feel. Her damage has to be really strong. Her 2 gives her movement speed. So you have to hit someone. How much movement speed? She's more of a setup assassin. Setup. I don't know. I need to read the abilities, but we'll see.
place, and she also has a really fun jump animation that we've just been all across the board.
To show off, since we were able to show it, is again.
Let's look at this. Let's look at the stats. Does anybody have a link so I can read the numbers? All right, so I'm gonna read this one, and then I'm gonna go over both 8.9 and 8.10. But since we're already finishing up with the character, we'll finish here. She can walk into walls every 16 seconds. While inside a wall, she can move freely and use some of her abilities. Every 0.5, she loses 0.15% of her health, stacking in intensity up to 40 times. She cannot enter a wall while below 25% of the cripple. While inside a wall, and for 5 seconds after exiting, she gains 10% physical ability lifesteal. So no movement speed here. 10% lifesteal, that's cool. Maybe 15%. So no wails enemies before her causing 3 damage 3 times. Final hit being the strongest. The final hit will also cause items to be silenced from death from 1.5. While channeling the scream, everyone is immune to knockups. That's cool. While inside a wall, they don't cause spectral face. Okay, that's cool. Scream damage 95. So those are the 2 ticks, right? 2 ticks, 95, 40% of your scaling. So 95, 95, 180, 190, 40%. We'll just say you have 100 power. 199, not too bad. Final hit 230 plus 70 scale. So you want to make sure you hit obviously the final blow. CD 12 seconds. That's pretty low. Is obviously your clearing ability. So fires the storm well, then it exposes the contact of the enemy got hit by this explosion, lose the ability to pursue. So don't attacks. Wait, so how I pronounce this girl's name, by the way, chat? I know everybody was memeing about that. What's the pronunciation? She figured back to vision for a second. Cliodhna? Clina? Cliodhna? Babe, chill the fuck out. Before firing back, as long as the enemy got his debuffs, gains movement speed. As long as one enemy got his debuff, that's an important one. So you need to debuff someone to get movement speed. You can't just shoot it. Bolt damage, 310, 70% of your physical power. That's pretty good. It's a lot of movement speed. You have to hit someone. Cliodhna. Cooldown 14 seconds. Her CDs are pretty sweet. Alright, dash is 4 damaging enemies she passes through at max range. If she cancels this dash or upon refiring the ability, she will unleash a claw swipe. Deals. If she cancels dash or upon refiring the ability, swipe, that's where you get the swipe. And casts inside a wall, resulting in the dash traveling further. That's pretty sick. Dash damage 35, 135, low scaling. Claw damage, high scaling 290, 95. That could be like 700. But that also is your dash. So using your dash to commit for so much, then the CD scales down. CDs are looking really nice though. 12 seconds, 14 and 12 again. I think her ult is probably the weakest ability in my opinion. Opening damage 650, 90%. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. But I mean, I guess with no items, it seemed pretty low. The utility of it seemed pretty weak. Rift damage 80, 240, 30%. Opening damage. Okay, the numbers look pretty crazy. Yeah, 90% of your scaling in this meta. That's kind of crazy. It's gonna be hitting for 1,000. Her combo is gonna be. I don't even think you Banshee. I think you dash. I think you dash from the wall, flickering vision, creep up on them, and then shoot ult for the slow. I'm pretty sure that's the combo. Slow 6%, 36. Low CD, 50 seconds, my lord. 40% CD, 20 what? 26, 27, 28 seconds or something like that. My God, it's like brawl. 2 charges. Okay, so this is gonna have to be toned down. This is definitely gonna have to be toned down. It's probably gonna be 150, 200, 250, 300, 400. I think that's pretty fair. I think 400 max is fair. You have 2 charges with a 50-second CD. You definitely don't need to be hitting for 1,000 off 2 charges of your ult with a 28-second CD. You're gonna blast the whole team. You can kill a whole team by yourself with this ult. You literally just ult twice. CDR works with her. I'm assuming it's just once you hit the 28 seconds when you have 40% CD, it stacks, and then you're working on your next CD like Acne Bomb. Okay, so from just reading and from what I've seen, obviously I have not played her, so I can't really see anything. I mean, it's kind of hard without playing, but from what I'm reading and seeing, this is the first thing that really this can't be allowed, right? This can't go through patch. This can't go through the patch. Either you make this an 80-second cooldown, right? And you get 2 charges, and then you leave this. That's fair to me. Or you keep it at 50 seconds, but you lower the power significantly, especially the base power. Those are the 2 options I see. There's no way they should allow this. The dash, I think everything else is fine. I think maybe this ability you go 10, 15, 20, 25, 30%. I think 40% is too high. I think if you tweak this and this character is perfect. I don't know if you guys agree, but I'm pretty sure that's what's going to take. I think everything else looks really nice. This is awesome. This is pretty awesome ability. Unique, cool. This ability is really awesome too. This ability is awesome. I think every ability is pretty awesome. Character is well thought out. I really like it. Crazy parts to me, her 1 looks like a nice ability. Yeah, it is a nice ability, but yeah, these other 3 I feel like outshine. I mean, this is the basic one, but it does a mad damage though. 290 with almost 100% scaling. That's kind of crazy, honestly. I don't mind this because I mean you're committing your only dash, right? Your only movement ability. You're committing it to get your big burst off. But like I said, I think this is the problem here. This is the problem. Yeah, but her passive is not like her passive is good movement ability, yes, but this is her true movement ability. I think 16 seconds might be too low. I think 25. So you really have to think about when you go inside the wall, not just go inside the wall because I feel like going inside the wall. Yes, I know you lose health per second, but still. I think 25 is fair. I think her ult should be thicker and do less damage. No, I don't mind it being thin if it's doing this much damage. It has like a 1 second. Yeah, like Gilga, right? If Gilga 2s you into the wall, I'm pretty sure you just seep in through the wall. Do you think people will go hybrid on her? No, I do not think people will go hybrid on her. This is a guaranteed Jotun's Wrath, Crusher, Jotun's Wrath, Transcendence, Brawlers if necessary, Crusher, Heartseeker, Bloodforge. I mean, obviously you can go in and out with those items, you know, whether you can switch them around, but this is just a full power CD Crusher facing. Those are my thoughts on this character. I think I'm going to separate that for its own video, and then I'm going to go over the patch notes on what's really getting updated now. Babe, if you can get that for me. I think Gilga 2 would stun her since it takes a bit for her to enter the wall. But it didn't say anything about being CC'd. So like if you get 2'd into the wall, I'm pretty sure you will enter the wall by the end of the CC. No CC immunity, yeah, that's another big thing. I think she's pretty fair. I think this is the only thing that's a little unfair. 650 base damage, 90% scaling, 50-second CD, 2 charges. It's too much plus. Too much plus. Like I said, you go 2 routes. You hire the CD, keep the damage, or or lower damage. I mean, keep the damage, higher the CD.